What does it mean to win, both in life and in business? A lot of times we think about winning in terms of sports. We think about winning the Super Bowl. We think about MVP. We think about the GOATs. We think about Tom Brady, Michael Jordan. Or we think about business. We think about the billionaires. We think about the people that have massive, huge, successful businesses. And we think, that's unachievable, so I'm probably not going to win. I better just keep doing what I'm doing. But what if that weren't true? What if winning were a lot more achievable? Today, I want to debunk that idea that winning is so far out of reach. And I want to do that by talking about 3 easy steps that you can do to win both in life and in your business. My name is Patrick Menefee, and I'm a mindset and success coach. My entire job in my business and this channel is to help you become more intentional, more fulfilled, and more successful. And these videos come out every single Monday, so I encourage you, hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when they come out. And if you want more, I've got a newsletter that comes out every other week, Menefee Monday Motivator. You can click the link in the description to subscribe. Now, to go back a little bit, a week ago, I ran a Spartan race, and I didn't do a lot leading up to it, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But somehow, with a lack of preparation and not being warm for the majority of the race and entering with a pounding headache, I finished in the top 12%, which isn't a huge deal. But I performed better than 88% of the people who competed in that race. When I think about that, these 3 easy steps come from takeaways from that race. And the first is that comparison is the thief of joy. When I think about a Spartan race, I've got a couple of friends that they actually compete in these races. One of them has, I think, won, or at least in the top 3. And that's a high bar. You think about how we often think about success and the people that I talked about at the beginning. You think about someone like Tom Brady. Let me give you a stat for a second. Did you know that 1.6% of college football players make it to the NFL? And there have been roughly 30,000 players in the NFL in its history. Tom Brady, if he's number 1, that means that he is in the top, not the top 1%, he is in the top 0.0000005% of all college football players. 0.0000005%. That is a very lofty goal, and that is a very high bar that we measure ourselves against. We look at someone like him and we think, there's no way that I could be that great, and that's what winning looks like. So what's even the point? Why even bother trying? And then I look at my buddies who run these races and I think, what's even the point? I can't compete with them. I don't want to put in the work to be at that level. That's not what winning means. That's where I want to help you take a step back. Comparison is the thief of joy. You don't need to be the number 1 out of 1 billion. You don't need to be the number 1 out of 30,000. Winning can mean something entirely different. So stop comparing yourself to other people and figure out what winning means for you. And that leads to the second easy step, which is you've got to get in the game. You've got to make the decision to play. You've got to make the decision that you're going to enter the race and run the race. Now, leading up to the Spartan race, immediately before, there was some type of accident that happened right outside, and I sat in traffic along with hundreds of other people. I sat in standstill traffic for 2+ hours, didn't move. We all missed our heats and really got pushed past the final starting point for the race. A lot of people probably didn't end up racing, didn't compete. A lot of people didn't get in the game. So when I was ahead of 88% of the people, that was 88% that ran the race. What about the people that didn't run? What about the people that quit early? What about the people that never signed up in the first place because they were afraid, because they compared themselves to other people, and as a result, they were too scared to enter in the first place? We do this all the time in business and in life. We overthink things. I've got a client that's currently going through this right now, thinking 12 steps down the road and not entering the game because he's afraid of what it might look like in the future if he fails. Forget that. You've got to enter the game. You've got to play the game. If you want to win, if you want to win in life, if you want to win in business, you've got to start playing the game. If you're trying to win in relationships, you've got to put yourself out there. You've got to get in relationships. If you want to win in business, you have to start your business. You can't just sit on the sidelines all the time. You have to start doing something. So that's easy step number 2. Get in the game, because it already sets you apart from the vast majority of people who never will get started. And number 3 is what's going to help you actually win. Now, the third easy step is you've got to stay consistent. In the run up to the race, I did not train whatsoever for the Spartan race. I didn't do anything to prepare for it. I have, however, over the past few years, especially the last 2 years, I've been consistent in my workouts. I've been consistently keeping myself in shape. I've been working out a few days a week, 4 or 5 days a week, and it hasn't put me in the best shape of my life, but it's put me in damn good shape and better than the vast majority of people, because most people don't stay consistent. Out of the people that enter the game, which is already, by entering the game, you already separated yourself and you're already starting to win. By staying consistent and not quitting, you separate yourself even more from the rest of the pack. Now, I've also talked in other videos about the importance of the distinction between quitting and pivoting. And if you find that it's not the right thing for you or it's not the right time, by all means, pivoting isn't a bad choice. I also would not have run that race if I had a broken leg. I would have stopped. I wouldn't have entered that game because it would have been stupid to do so with a broken leg and hurt myself even further. But the people who stay consistent are the ones who can continue to set themselves apart, and they can win. When you're starting out, especially when you're going to the gym, early on it sucks. And it never gets super easy because you're continually pushing yourself to go to the next level. But the very beginning really sucks. But as you stay consistent, it gets easier and you start to win and you start to see the growth in business or in personal development. When you start reading, when you haven't been reading, you haven't dug into any personal development work, at first it sucks and it's hard and it can seem boring compared to watching Netflix or going out and drinking with friends. But then you start to see it pay off as you get consistent, and then it becomes a habit, and then it becomes easier, and then it levels you up and you're able to win. Consistency will lead to winning. Alex Hormozy uses the line, and I'm going to butcher it, but uses the idea that I cannot lose if I don't quit. Stay consistent, do not quit, and you can win. And when you tie all of these three things together, first of all, you pull all these three apart and you see why most people don't win. So many people don't win because either A, they never get in the game. A lot of times they never get in the game because they're afraid of comparing themselves to someone else. Or B, they don't stay consistent. They get in the game, but then they fall off and wonder why we're not getting in shape when I go to the gym once every 6 months. It's not how it works. People don't get in the game. People don't stay consistent. But in order to set yourself apart, that's all you've got to do. Get in the game, stay in the game. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else. Compare yourself to where you were before and keep pushing yourself forward, and you will win. It will become inevitable for you to win. I hope this is encouraging to you. I hope that this will allow you to take some action and either get in the game if you've been in the sidelines or stay consistent if things are hard right now. And I also hope that it helps you to stop comparing yourself to everybody else. Stop comparing yourself to the 0.0000005% of people and instead work on what it means to win for you.